The polished floors of the Grand Meridian Hotel gleamed under the soft glow of chandeliers, their light bouncing off brass fixtures and white linen tablecloths. It was a place where Chicago's elite came to dine, where deals were struck over seared scallops and glasses of Bordeaux. On this crisp autumn afternoon, a boy stood at the threshold, one sneaker hesitating on the marble tile. 12-year-old Jamal Carter clutched a crumpled reservation confirmation in his pocket, his heart pounding. After earning a scholarship to a prestigious magnet school, he'd saved for months tutoring money, birthday cash to treat himself. But as he stepped forward, the air shifted. Eyes turned, and the weight of being the only black kid in the room settled on his shoulders like a heavy coat. The hostess, a woman with a sleek blonde bob and a name tag reading Claire, barely looked up from her tablet. When she did, her gaze swept over Jamal, his faded hoodie, his careful posture, hands deliberately visible, and her lips tightened. "You can't just walk in here, kid," she said, her voice sharp enough to slice through the restaurant's hum. "This isn't the place for you." Jamal froze. "I have a reservation," he said, voice steady despite the knot in his throat. "Under Jamal Carter." "For one." Claire's brow arched. "Is that so?" She tapped her tablet with exaggerated slowness, not bothering to check. "We don't have anything under that name. And we're booked solid." Her eyes flicked to his sneakers. "Besides, people usually dress up for a place like this." "I can wait," Jamal said, jaw tight. He'd read the reviews, studied the menu online. He knew what to expect, or thought he did. Claire sighed, loud and theatrical. "There's a diner 2 blocks over. More your speed." She waved a hand toward the door, dismissing him like a stray dog. The words hit like a slap. Jamal's face burned, not with anger, but with shame. He'd done everything right, booked online, worn his cleanest clothes, practiced his manners. Yet here he was, shrinking under her gaze. He glanced at the dining room. 3 empty tables, silverware gleaming. He could leave. It'd be easier. But something in him refused. Then a voice cut through the tension, calm but firm. "Let the boy sit." Heads turned. A woman with graying curls and a server's apron stood by the drink station, holding a tray of water glasses. Her name tag read, Evelyn. She didn't shout, didn't plead. She stated it as a fact. Claire's smile thinned. "Evelyn, this isn't." "He's a paying guest, isn't he?" Evelyn asked, stepping closer. "Let him sit." Claire's lips pursed, but she didn't argue. A security guard who'd appeared moments earlier, a stocky man with folded arms, softened his stance. Jamal looked at Evelyn, who gave him a small nod. "Sit, honey," she said, her hand brushing his shoulder. "You belong here." Jamal moved to a window table, legs heavy but deliberate. He sat upright, hands folded, his backpack at his feet. Evelyn set a glass of water before him and whispered, "Don't let small people shrink you." He nodded, unable to speak. Outside, the lights of Michigan Avenue flickered. Inside, he held his silence like armor. But no menu came. No server approached. Claire hovered at the host's stand, her eyes darting to Jamal like he was a stain on her pristine world. Minutes dragged. A nearby couple whispered, not quietly enough. "Is he lost?" the woman asked, adjusting her pearl earrings. "It's awkward when kids come in alone, especially, well, you know." Her husband didn't reply, but his glance carried the same question. "What's he doing here?" Jamal counted seconds in his head to stay calm, a trick his mother taught him. When the world tries to make you smaller, count how many pieces of yourself you refuse to give away. He was 92 when Claire approached, a wine menu in hand. "I see you've made yourself comfortable," she said, her southern drawl dripping with condescension. "Our lunch menu has a $25 minimum for solo diners." "That's not online," Jamal said, blinking. "Well, it's policy," she snapped, dropping the menu. She leaned in, voice low. "This is a nice place. Maybe next time, bring someone who fits the atmosphere." Jamal met her gaze, unflinching. "I know exactly where I am." Claire's smile faltered. Before she could respond, a deep voice boomed from behind. "Why hasn't my son been served?" Every head turned. A tall man with salt and pepper hair and a plain black coat stepped forward. His presence didn't demand attention, it commanded it. Jamal's eyes widened. "Dad?" The man, William Hayes, CEO of Meridian Properties, smiled. "Hey, buddy. Sorry, I'm late." He laid a hand on Jamal's shoulder and turned to Claire, whose face had gone pale. "I'm William Hayes," he said, extending a hand she didn't take. You should have known he belonged here. But you didn't. Claire stammered. Mr. Hayes, I didn't realize. That's the problem. William cut in, voice cool. You assumed he wasn't worth your time. Whispers spread like wildfire. Evelyn approached, setting a fresh water glass down with a nod. A young intern, Sarah, who'd recorded the exchange on her phone, lowered it, stunned. William sat across from Jamal. Did you order yet? Jamal shook his head. Never got a menu. William turned to Claire. Would you mind correcting that? Claire scurried off, heels clicking. The dining room buzzed, servers moving cautiously, guests watching. William leaned toward Jamal. You held your ground. Good. You came, Jamal said, still processing. Of course I came, William replied. You think I'd let you face this alone after what you told me this morning? Evelyn returned with proper menus, handing one to Jamal without comment. Welcome back, Mr. Hayes, she said. Claire reappeared, flushed. I'm so sorry, I didn't know. You didn't have to, William said. That's the issue. You saw a kid and assumed he was a problem. Claire froze, then backed away, whispering to a junior server. Sarah approached, nervous. Mr. Hayes, I'm Sarah, an intern. I recorded some of it for documentation. I wasn't sure if I should step in. William nodded. Good instincts. Send it to my assistant. The meal arrived. Jamal's duck breast, William's steak. The room shifted. Servers moved briskly, aware of the CEO's presence. The couple in pearls sat stiffly, their earlier whispers now a source of shame. Sarah sent the video, her hands trembling. Evelyn watched from the bar, her eyes sharp but kind. After dinner, William's vice president, Michael, arrived. We've got the footage, he said. Timeline aligns with security cameras. Start an internal review, William said. Quietly. No press, but no sweeping it under the rug. What about Claire? Jamal asked. She's off the floor, Michael replied. We'll evaluate, but patterns matter. She's not new here. Evelyn approached with a chocolate souffle on the house. Takes 14 minutes, but it's worth it, she said. Jamal smiled, taking a bite. This is the best thing I've ever eaten. William chuckled. Worth staying for? Huh? The next morning, William addressed his executive team in the hotel's boardroom. This isn't about a boy being denied a seat, he said, placing a security still of Jamal on the table, small, nervous, alone. It's about a crack in our foundation. He revealed Jamal wasn't his biological son, but one he'd mentored, loved like family. Gasps followed. We're taking action, William continued. A company-wide bias audit, Claire's termination, manager retraining, and a youth mentorship program, the Jamal Carter Initiative. Later, in Millennium Park, Evelyn found Jamal on a bench, handing him a hot dog. You okay? She asked. People at school stared today, Jamal said. Some saw the video. I didn't want to cause trouble. Sometimes trouble's how the truth gets heard, Evelyn said. You believed you belonged. That's enough. A week later, the Grand Meridian's lobby brimmed with reporters, students, and leaders. A banner read, Jamal Carter Initiative Opening Ceremony. Jamal, in a navy blazer, clutched a speech but spoke from the heart. My mom says to speak up, even when my voice shakes, he said. I just wanted to sit. But sometimes speaking up feels like trouble to people who aren't used to it. The crowd roared, standing in ovation. The Jamal Carter Room, a mentorship space, opened with bookshelves and a quote, Justice isn't punishment. It's making things right. Jamal Carter, age 12. Outside, an elderly man approached Jamal. My grandson read about you. Started a kindness club at school. Said if you can change a hotel, he can change his classroom. That night, Jamal's mother, Lorraine, tucked him in at home. Proud of yourself? She asked. A little, Jamal said, smiling. Mostly proud I didn't cry at the mic. You always belonged, Lorraine said, kissing his forehead. The world just caught up. The Grand Meridian's new mission statement hung at the entrance. Everyone deserves a seat at the table. The Jamal Carter Initiative grew, sparking citywide support. Jamal's story wasn't just a moment, it was a movement. Proof that one boy's courage could rewrite the rules. What do you think about Jamal's story? Have you faced or witnessed injustice in everyday spaces? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about standing up to bias and building a world where everyone has a seat. Your voice matters.